Hey, what's up, you guys? Back with another action figure review here, and this has been actually, believe it or not, a highly sought after figure for me for quite a long time. I've had numerous opportunities over the years to get this figure, but I was so preoccupied on getting other figures that even as badly as I wanted this figure, it kind of got pushed to the foreground. But here he is. I finally have him. I played all the Arkham games. I know I've probably most likely mentioned that in my previous videos. I played Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. I love Arkham Asylum and Arkham City to death, but Arkham Knight was my least favorite out of the Arkham trilogy. There are things I do love about Arkham Knight, and then there are things that's not so great. And the Arkham Knight wasn't really a cool character like I thought he'd be, and just so many things went wrong with that. But before I get further into that and rambling on like I usually do, actually this figure comes with a rifle, but I bought him loose off of eBay. So this is just one of my spare guns that I had in my collection, and he does have a trigger finger. I wish I could have put two guns in his hands, but he doesn't have a trigger finger on this hand, and other guns that I have doesn't really fit in his hand correctly. So he's just gonna have the single gun. But of course I'm gonna take that out and and get a much more closer in-depth look at the Arkham Knight. So a more closer in-depth look at the Arkham Knight, and I do like the design. Now, that's the thing about the game. I did love the design of this character. I thought that, his design was really cool. Now, as far as his helmet goes, they didn't add like the lighting detail that was in his helmet like it was in the game. They didn't really add that, like with the blues and the reds and all. I think that would have really been cool if they did add that, but it still looks pretty solid even without it. And you see, all the little details around his helmet, the details around his back, everything like that. His shoulders got the Arkham sign there. You got the front. You got the red, like militaristic style that he had going on. Looks like binoculars there, which I don't know what. I don't think I ever saw him use that in the game. Not that I remember anyway. You got the detail of his boots there. Very nice. So, I mean, this is a very nicely sculpted figure. This was definitely in DC Collectibles heyday, where, their sculpt was like second to none. A lot of people bitched about their articulation, but like DC Collectibles sculpting was nearly unmatched. Anyway, so let's get into articulation. So his arms could go out about that much. You can rotate it. I can't get mine to rotate all the way around, and I don't want to break anything. Anyway, upper bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, not double jointed, and he does have like a swivel in his waist, and he does have an ab crunch as well, which he can crouch down about that much and back about that much, and his head can go left to right. It probably could do a 360, but I just want to be very careful with this figure. I don't want to force anything. He can't really do the split, so that's about out of that. He does have an upper thigh cut. I want to say double jointed, but it feels like it's a single jointed knee, or maybe mine is a little bit tight. And he doesn't have any boot rotation, but he does have a hinge and a swivel actually in his feet with ankle pivots. So that is what you're getting with the Arkham Knight. And so back to what I was saying and discussing. the game let me down because it was just so predictable. And fans just basically called it, because, we just knew it, from like a mile away that it was Jason Todd. At first, like I bought into Rocksteady's bullshit. Like I did buy into it at first. I was like, you know what? I was like, nah. I was like, it's not Jason Todd. Like I was really believing them. I was like, nah. I was like, they're gonna really create a new and original character. But that wasn't the case. That's not the route that they went with. They did in fact choose Jason Todd, and what made matters worse was that he didn't feel like the he didn't feel like the Jason Todd that I knew from the comic books, and from one of my favorite Batman animated movies of all time, Batman Under the Red Hood, incredibly voiced by Jensen Ackles. But oh, and sorry if you guys haven't played the game, I'm totally spoiling everything, so I do apologize. But you can cut out of the video now if you want. But yeah, it turns out that Jason Todd, the Red Hood, was the Arkham Knight in Batman Arkham Knight the game, and it was just a letdown. His portrayal was just, he was whiny, he was annoying, he was like just not convincing as a character. It just felt more like a caricature instead of it being a character that you really felt for. Like prime example with the PS4's Spider-Man, they reinvented Dr. Octavius, and it felt, him as a character, like, it felt believable. It felt, you felt his emotions and everything that he was going through. So when he finally did become a villain, it felt earned, it felt warranted, but with this portrayal of Jason Todd and Batman the Arkham Knight, it didn't feel that way. And that was crazy. Now is in the newest Detective Comics run after Detective Comics 1000, which I have not read yet, desperately want to read it. I just haven't gotten the chance to pick it up yet, but I will. Arkham Knight is now a character in the DC world of comic books. So this is very interesting, and I'm pretty much, I could safely say I could be dead wrong, but I'm about 98% sure it is not Jason Todd, with this comic book version of the Arkham Knight. So I really want to read it. It's the newest run of the Detective Comics. I don't know what made them take this approach, but I'm interested. I'm down for it. And whether it's a new character or an existing character who's most likely definitely not Jason Todd, I'm definitely down for that. So but this figure, I really like it a lot. I finally have this figure, and I could say that I am, very much pleased with it. I'm pleased with the articulation, because for those of you who know me and know my channel, that's not the most important thing to me with an action figure. The most important thing for me is the sculpting first. How good is the sculpt? Because when I pick up a figure and when I put it on my shelf, I want to know how good it's going to look, sitting up there. So, I'm not one of those action figure posers where, all that articulated comic book art and stuff. It's really dope. Don't get me wrong. And I really tip my cap off to, all those guys who's in that community. I do pose my figures around, but just not like, not that good. So, yeah, I've really been after this figure. I was highly anticipating having this figure, and now I have it. Like I said before, the figure rightfully does come with a rifle, but this is turning into a rare find now. So it's like, it was really hard for me to pick this guy up, but I finally got him. So now, you know, my hunting days for this guy is over. So I have him. There's really no way I could afford getting him brand new, so that's why I got him on the loose like that, and I am very happy. I am a happy guy right now. So side-by-side comparison, we have him saying that's to Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman, DC Universe CW Flash, and my customized DC Direct New 52 Superman. And last but certainly not least, side by side with Batman. So I really like this figure. I'm happy to add the Arkham Knight to my collection. Yes, so like I mentioned, very highly happy with this figure. And definitely would say that he is worth a pickup, but you know, he's turning into one of those rare finds now, like I said. So like I said, very happy to add him to my collection, and got more reviews coming up, of course. So until next time, guys, this has been my review of the DC Collectibles Arkham Knight. Till next time, see ya.